In February 2024, thousands watched a live stream go horribly wrong. Things he wasn't supposed to see. Chased by someone in military gear. Then, silence. Hours later, his wife went live from Taiwan crying and begging for help, saying he never came home. The morning after, he appeared in another live stream in ripped and dirty clothes, running for his life. And then, nothing. He disappeared again, until 2 days later he's next seen being sentenced to years in prison. Nothing about it makes any sense. What did he do to deserve years in one of Cambodia's most horrifying prisons, which is notoriously overcrowded with over 150 men crammed into a single cell, forced to sleep sitting up with one shared toilet? Most of us won't end up in a Cambodian prison, but we all deal with the cost of our choices, like sticking with overpriced car insurance without even realizing it. Car insurance rates have nearly doubled in the last 5 years. It's wild how they keep raising your premium, even if nothing's changed. That's why we partnered with FinanceBuzz, who's sponsoring this video, to help more people stop overpaying. Some drivers are saving up to $600 a year after checking FinanceBuzz. It only takes a few clicks. You enter your zip code and a few basic details, which FinanceBuzz shares with licensed agents who will send over their best available rates. So, if you haven't compared rates in a while, this is your sign. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to see how much you could save. You've got nothing to lose and up to $600 to gain. So, who was the live streamer who found himself in Cambodia's prison? Before the world called him Goodnight Chicken, Chen Nung Chuan was just another struggling content creator exploring forgotten places in Taipei. Everything changed the night he stepped into that abandoned hospital in the Da Tong district in November 2020. Chen didn't expect to find anything, but his live stream turned into something much darker. There, hanging from the ceiling, was a corpse. And Chen reacted like most of us would. He fled in terror. As it turned out, this was no fake streamer setup. The deceased was a missing 38-year-old man, which was later confirmed by police. The family even publicly thanked Chen for helping them find their loved one. Naturally, with all of this being captured on livestream, the internet was intrigued. The video spread like wildfire, and overnight, he became a hero. His content was soon flooded with support in the form of subscribers, donations, and of course, comments. Viewers applauded his hard work as well as the joy, laughter, and horror he brought to the internet. But that's the thing about success. Once you have it, you always want more. After the popularity of the hospital video, it became clear that Chen was chasing his next big story, wherever that might take him. So he started traveling outside Taiwan. This included trips to Malaysia, Japan, and then Cambodia, where the YouTuber's journey took an unexpected turn. On February 11th, 2024, Chen touched down at the Phnom Penh International Airport, joined by his friend and fellow internet personality, Lu Tzu Xian, better known online as Anao. The two jumped straight into action, cameras in hand, exploring the city and capturing live streams. One of their first ideas was to visit the Phnom Penh Military Hospital, but after scoping it out, they ditched the plan. The location just didn't live up to the vision they had in mind. The next day, they traveled to the coastal city of Sihanoukville. But why did they choose this coastal city as their destination? The choice wasn't random. See, Cambodia's Sihanoukville had become notorious in recent years, not just for its casinos and nightlife, but for what lurked beneath. Rumors of cybercrime and whispers of human trafficking that all trace back to something called scam compounds. They're allegedly disguised as casinos, but the barred windows on these industrial buildings suggest something darker. Local mafia groups that used to rely on SW and gambling to make their fortune have turned to something more profitable, scamming. Promising well-paid work, they lure up to hundreds of thousands of people, mostly men from Asian countries, into positions at these scam centers, where they use social media and dating apps to romance victims out of their money. But it's not just the targets of these scams who suffer. See, these workers are as much employees as they are, well, prisoners. Allegedly, their passports are taken from them, and they are held against their will, forced to work up to 18-hour days, 7 days a week.
We didn't reach the target for the 1 month. We will do a lot of punishment.
Yes, to incentivize harder work, these operations resort to brutal measures.
I was with a PVC pipe about 5 inches thick with a metal core.
And a good chunk of these victims, Taiwanese, just like Chen. After an explosive report from the UN, attention to these scam compounds made headlines in Asia, especially in Taiwan. And Cambodia's tourism numbers tanked. China, once their biggest source of visitors, pulled back dramatically. But Chen didn't run away from danger. He ran towards it. Sure, it was dangerous, but this wouldn't be the first time a creator had gone too far in the name of content. From a streamer paying a woman who couldn't swim $20 to jump in a lake.
You told me to jump in.
I didn't tell you to jump in.
Yes,
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
I think you literally just murdered a lady.
No, I didn't, I swear.
To a YouTuber ditching his aircraft mid-flight.
A pilot who deliberately crashed his plane in Santa Barbara County and posted it on YouTube has been sentenced to 6 months in federal prison.
Influencers are no strangers to endangering their lives and the lives of others for views. And Sihanoukville's scam compounds presented the perfect storm. A viral topic, public outrage, and an audience hungry for answers. And Goodnight Chicken was the guy who discovered a corpse in an abandoned building, who had calmly narrated his own shaky footage of a literal dead body. Risk was part of the brand. But on February 12, 2024, Chen's livestream depicted a different scene. The stream had a low signal, giving it grainy quality. Still, Chen's heavy breathing came in loud and clear as he whispered to his viewers. However, it soon became clear he wasn't alone. Yes, Chen had seemingly stumbled upon the real-life kidnapping of a worker for the scam compound. But now that the YouTuber had become a witness to a potential crime, what would he do? Run away? Alert the authorities? Book the next flight out of Cambodia? Well, how about none of the above? Instead, Chen continued exploring the building. The atmosphere was unmistakably tense as he ventured deeper into the scam compound. And then something spine-chilling happened. A man in a military uniform appeared on camera, blurred and distant. He held a flashlight aimed at Chen. The YouTuber had been caught trespassing. Just like he had when he found the body in Taiwan, Chen fled. But this time, escape wouldn't be so easy. In tears, the creator hid, whispering to the only people who could witness what was happening, his viewers. Eventually, Chen ventured out of his hiding spot, only to make another horrific discovery. Yes, there was dried blood on the walls. But while this was Chen's sign to get out of there, as he hurried down the steps, he again came face to face with the man holding a flashlight. Chen then ran back up the stairs. But when he reached the top, the camera picked up a buzz that sounded suspiciously like a taser, followed by Chen screaming in agony. The camera fell to the ground and the stream abruptly ended, leaving viewers in a state of panic and uncertainty. What was going to happen to Chen Nongchuan? For hours, fans were left in the dark. No follow-up video, no Instagram story or tweets, just silence. and it wasn't long before the silence became the story. People feared he was held hostage, or even worse, killed. But his wife and friends were hopeful he was alive, posting this Facebook video begging for anyone to help Chen. In the video, Chen's wife sat in the middle, her head bowed as she breathed deeply, closed her eyes, and wrung her hands, all telltale signs of anxiety. And as she began dabbing her tear-stained face with a tissue, it seemed as if she knew Chen was in grave danger. After that, Chen's friend, another influencer, posted a video saying Chen would never joke with his own life. Their desperate pleas for help and their tearful accounts of his disappearance all drove home one message: Chen needed saving, and fast. The story was even picked up by the national media in Taiwan.
单独一人拿着手机直播，网红小鸡来到柬埔寨的诈骗凯博园区，说是要来个大冒险。
Fans also did what they could to draw attention to the story, reposting Chen's footage across platforms and creating viral TikToks speculating about his location. Some even screenshotted the moment where the man in uniform appeared, zooming in on background details that included graffiti, posters, and signage in Khmer. The panic spread beyond fandom. Influencer pages picked up the story. Even the governor of Praia Sihanouk posted photos of Chen asking locals for help locating him. And theories kept growing. Maybe he was taken by the same people he tried to expose. Maybe he'd stumbled into something darker than he'd expected. But amid the chaos, doubt began to creep in. The story didn't quite add up. People started pointing up red flags. It's a script. How could it be possible that park security wouldn't yell when chasing someone? The shot of the phone falling to the ground is too fake. Put it down gently for fear of breaking it. One user even speculated that Chen's wife was part of the act. He's really good at acting, especially his wife. Even pretending to be like that. Don't you know it's fake? Was everyone involved a part of some wider conspiracy to deceive viewers? Just as Chen and his family and friends were becoming the subject of intense scrutiny, the YouTuber suddenly reappeared. In the video, Chen appeared to be actively running from somewhere, or someone.
我头一开直播，我刚才婆妈妈还有哥姐，我出来了，我来不及了。
And when he could finally stop to catch his breath, it became clear he'd been through hell. Chen's clothing was tattered, his head was half shaven, and he was bruised and battered. One look at him and the question was unavoidable. What horrors had the YouTuber endured? As viewership hit a record high, Chen explained that all this time he was missing. He was being held captive.
我跟你们说，我现在先回饭店。我开这个直播，我开这个直播想让爱婆跟我妈还有所有哥姐，我就想要录影存证。我身上所有钱都被他们拿走了，3、4千美金，包含给司机的钱跟旅费。
And after he was robbed, the real torture began.
跟他们讲柬埔寨语言，我听不懂。然后后来，里面2、3个拿枪的，说要把我放走，我不知道他是不是真的要把我放走，他叫我，他说 leave。 我不知道他是不是真的要放我走，我就一直跑。我跑了5、6公里、6、7公里了。
Yes, Chen hadn't so much escaped as he had been released, and safe to say he was ready to go home.
我不敢再来柬埔寨了。
But while viewers wanted to believe Chen, Something about his version of events didn't add up. The internet began questioning. Why were the details Chen provided so vague? Why did it feel like he wasn't speaking from the heart, but delivering a rehearsed script? An online commentator, Liu Yu, analyzed Chen's livestream and spotted a major red flag. Liu Yu was able to pinpoint the exact location where Chen's escape livestream was filmed, tweeting, "I was bored and used the Street View map to compare and found that he was just broadcasting live beside the main road. Next to it is a row of beach resort hotels. It feels like a pretty safe place." Not only was it next to a resort town, it was also a considerable distance away from any known or rumored scam compound. As Liu Yu pointed out, while Chen's footage was shot at an angle that made it look like he had just jumped over the wall of the facility where he was being held as a prisoner, if you turn the phone to the other side to shoot the same scene, it becomes a relaxing feeling of jogging in a tourist beach resort. The nervous feeling disappeared immediately. All of this suggested that Chen's entire escape sequence had been staged. On top of that, Liu Yu raised a question that exposed a flaw in Chen's narrative. Why would kidnappers allow him to keep his phone and live stream? Viewers were forced to wonder what really happened behind the scenes, and they weren't the only ones who wanted answers. Cambodian authorities got involved, and they were using every resource they had to track down Chen. The provincial governor had already stepped in, and now the police commissioner was joined. That's right, this wasn't internet drama anymore. It was a full-blown national scandal, and with the whole country searching for the YouTuber, it wasn't long before both Chen and his companion were located. The two men were staying in a local hotel, but fans who expected a cheerful meeting were hit with the hard reality of the situation when the two influencers were photographed in handcuffs next to a group of Cambodian officers who were clearly not amused. By this point, social media and the country of Cambodia were all asking the same question. What had Chen Nungchuan done? The truth was more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Chen's entire story, from his kidnapping to his escape, had been a carefully crafted hoax that he had planned with his friend, fellow livestreamer Lu Tzu-shen. Yes, it was all a desperate attempt for fame, and the proof was in their gear. In their hotel room, officers discovered a range of props, including fake blood, the toy guns, and the uniforms. Following their arrest, Chen and his friend appeared at a news conference where they confessed to faking the videos. The duo dropped to their knees, apologized, and pleaded for a second chance, promising to use their online platforms to highlight what they called the authentic side of Cambodia. Several Taiwanese people were disgusted with Chen, writing, "I am deeply ashamed of this incident and urge the local authorities to punish him seriously. Please let him go to jail. Please believe that the majority of Taiwanese people are well-mannered and differ from him. On behalf of Taiwanese, I apologize to Cambodia. This idiot needs to die." Cambodian locals also pointed out the damage they did. He made our country to face the misunderstanding that our country is insecure and unsafe. Moreover, it seriously affects tourism and investment sector. Arrest him. He should be seriously punished for defaming the country. And they were right on. The governor, Kuuch Chamrun, decided to arrest them and charge them of inciting and causing social disorder, a serious offense under Cambodian law. They were fined about $1,000 USD each. The governor emphasized, "If we forgive them, then other people will come here to produce fabricated content and tarnish Cambodia's image. As for jail time, well..."
A Cambodian court has sentenced the Taiwanese live streamer and his cameraman to 2 years in prison.
Yes, Chen wouldn't see freedom until 2026, and it appeared the public was satisfied with this news, especially after the resurgence of influencers live streaming themselves being disrespectful in other countries. For example, in 2021, during the height of the pandemic, Taiwanese influencer Josh Paler Lin and his Russian girlfriend Leia Se didn't wear face mask coverings. Instead, they painted fake ones onto their faces and walked into a store in Bali.
Hello. Thank you.
But once their video went viral, Balinese authorities deported the couple. In 2024, Singaporean streamer Kiara Kitty staged a fake egg attack during a live stream in Taiwan.
What the f is wrong with you?
She speculated the lady was accusing her of seducing her husband since she makes OF content.
Dude, this is the life of being
I want to cry. What the hell is this?
When authorities discovered this was staged, that the attacker was actually her 32-year-old male assistant, she was banned from Taiwan for up to 5 years. In late 2024, American live streamer Johnny Somali streamed himself in Korea disrespecting a cultural monument, disrupting businesses, and creating AI-generated deepfake videos of Korean streamers. He faced multiple charges and, if convicted, could serve up to 31 years in prison. And more recently, in April 2025, Russian-American YouTuber Vitaly streamed himself in the Philippines, disrespecting security guards, attempting to seize a firearm, stealing items, threatening to rob a woman, and filming multiple people without their consent.
Dahil sa pagiging undesirable alien.
He was arrested and, if convicted, could serve up to 18 months in Philippine prison. Yes, both the authorities and the public were finally holding creators accountable. And with that, the internet, which was once Chen's biggest source of support, turned against him. But since no one was harmed in the hoax, some people questioned whether the punishment was too severe. One TikToker said,
"I'm deeply frightened by the misuse of the criminal. Although his video may mislead tourists about the existence of fraud compound, the video is hardly to incite any rebellion. I have to say, the swift and harsh verdict showcased the terrifying efficiency of a flawed legal process."
One Reddit user shared a similar opinion, writing, "People should only be locked up for years for real serious crimes, not just because you can't stand them." While opinions on the punishment vary, one thing is hard to deny. Staging a fake kidnapping in a country that's already battling scam-related stereotypes isn't just about making content, but fuels fear and misinformation. And while no one was hurt, it could have gone very differently. What if a bystander tried to intervene? What if authorities misread the skit as a real threat and fired at Chen's friend? Whether or not the punishment fits the crime, the incident is a reminder of the risks that come with pushing boundaries in the pursuit of fame. While you're here, check out our other video about an influencer who held fans captive. And consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Your support means a lot to us and helps us continue to create videos like these. Before you go, don't forget to check out FinanceBuzz to see how much you could save on your car insurance.